So in today's video, I'm going to discuss the importance of standardized tests such as the SAT and the ACT and why these tests are very important for UG students. And I'm not just talking about getting admission to a US university, but I'm also talking about the reason that US universities tend to be better ranked and produce better graduates than equivalent universities in other English speaking countries such as the Commonwealth countries. And the main issue here is that essentially when you go for any kind of degree, there are two skills which are paramount, and these are verbal and quantitative skills. And typically there is a concept that if you are going for engineering and sciences, you need to only know quantitative skills, which means mathematics, and then the domain knowledge in the sciences and so on. And if you are going for humanities, social sciences, commerce and these fields, then you typically need verbal skills. And many of the exams in various countries are set out on these principles where they try to test this background. Now, my hypothesis is that the skills which are required to succeed as a student are essentially multiplicative skills, and these do not necessarily add. So what I'm trying to say here, I'm trying to say that let us look at verbal and scale this between 0 and 1. So essentially take any standardized test such as SAT, and let's say the lowest score in verbal is 0 and the highest score is 1. Similarly, take the quantitative score, the lowest score is 0 and the highest score possible is 1. So essentially you have scaled these two. Now what I am saying is that if you multiply these two numbers, then you actually get the multiplicative factor, which is the measure of success of a student in the BS program. So let's say you get perfect scores in verbal and quantitative, then you get 1 into 1, which equals 1. So you are a perfect candidate. Now let's say you get 0.5 in verbal and 1 in quantitative. You multiply these, you get 0.5. So actually your poor performance in verbal or English speaking skills or English writing skills, sentence completion skills and so on has dragged down your capability to be a very good student. Similarly, let's flip this and presume a person is a 1 in verbal and a 0.5 in quantitative. Multiply these two and you get 0.5. So that's the multiplicative skill you have. Now here this person is dragged down by his quantitative weakness. And this quantitative weakness will not only show up in their general performance in courses, but will also make the person less meticulous in terms of their work. Now let's say a person is mediocre and he gets 0.5 and 0.5 in verbal and quantitative. You multiply these two, you get 0.25. So this person's mediocrity has been further tarnished by the multiplicative factor. So these are certain things to keep in mind as to how this duality between verbal and quantitative is actually combined together to predict your real performance. Now, why all this discussion is important is because many people resent the fact that they have to take SAT or ACT and they have to do the quantitative sections if they are humanities students, or they have to do verbal sections if they are quantitative and STEM students. So I'm trying to tell these students the reason behind these exams and why these exams are very useful. Now let's say you are a STEM major, essentially doing a degree in engineering or science. Now of course you need quantitative skills to figure out all your coursework in these disciplines, but you also need verbal skills to write, read books, present your work, do research on capstone projects, write term papers and so on. Now let's say you are a social science and humanities student. Of course you are supposed to have good verbal skills because you will have to do a lot of reading and writing of non-fiction and fiction works. But you also need a knowledge of statistics to do various kind of experiments, various case studies. You need a minimalist thinking of mathematics to actually do well in the different disciplines, to formulate your research problems properly, maybe to develop some kind of computer programs. You also need mathematics in the social sciences because of increasing mathematization of all the fields, especially finance. You not only need calculus in finance, you may even need recondite mathematical fields such as topology and so on. Certainly Monte Carlo simulation is widely used in finance. So again, the key thing to keep in mind here is that modeling is becoming very important in all aspects of learning. And modeling essentially requires that you do phenomenological model or physics based model. And all these models would require a good concept of mathematics. Now let's look at some of the aspects which are likely to become important in future. For example, we may use machine learning not only to write pieces of prose but even poetry. So here you would really require a knowledge of the English language as well as the mathematics of machine learning. And so this kind of work would be very difficult to do if you do not have excellent scores in both the verbal and quantitative sections of the SAT and the ACT. So these are some aspects you need to keep in mind. So again, the larger point I wanted to make is that these particular examinations which were devised for the US college education system have resulted in a huge edge for the different US universities, and this edge has been lost to the universities of different countries. And you can see this in the outcome of many of these newfangled fields such as machine learning, the widespread use of some of the modern technologies in finance and so on. And these are all being born in the United States. And the reason for that is this multiplicative training in terms of verbal skills and quantitative skills. So these are some aspects I wanted to share with you in this video, and please stay tuned to my channel for further videos on such topics. Thank you very much.